Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I ain't trying to do no Zoom. Just tripping off thing. I ain't about to do no Zoom right now. It's a wrap. Good morning, good people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going back. 33rd chapter. Exodus. We're going to play around that, all this stuff on my computer. We're going to play around that, Exodus, the 33rd chapter, verses 12, 13, and 14. We're going to deal with it. God say my presence. After coming up of verse 1, 2, and 3, for God say I will send the angel before you. But now Moses like, hold up, God, bro, help me out. God, don't worry about it, Moses, bro, I got you. My presence is going to be with you. I'm going to roll with you the whole 9 yards. We're going to get into that, right? We're going to shoot through the 9th chapter of Revelation, right? Somebody asked me a question about the gold and stuff being in the earth, right? So we're going to go all the way back in the book of Genesis. I'm going to show you that. We're going to walk the Bible. We're going to walk the Bible. We're going to walk the Bible. All because the brother asked me, what's the man in Genesis 1 and 27 and what's man in Genesis 2 and 7? And it's a difference, right? Now, that opens up the whole ball game. So now we're going to go back in that 33rd chapter of Exodus, right? We're going to walk this thing. Okay, we're going to go all the way to the 9th chapter of Revelation. But Revelation going to take me all the way back in the book of Genesis, dealing with the time when God would put the garden there with the rivers, right? Which takes us back to man. Then we're going to shoot to the 3rd chapter, 2nd chapter of Luke. We're going to grab Luke, right? And I'm going to show you the genealogy of Luke compared to the genealogy of Matthew. Now, stop. That's because somebody misunderstood what I said when I talked about David being Jesus, right? Now, they thought I said Daniel. So now it's a deep study, but yet I'm a surface teacher. I'm a surface teacher. I'm going to take it in the 20th chapter of Luke. Come out of Luke, bag it up into Luke, show you all the way in the 2nd chapter. Now, stop. Stop. I made mention of that for a reason. But when you ask me a question, I got to answer it. So now I'm going to go back and show you the gold. I'm going to go back, show you the diamonds. But stay focused on the Euphrates River. Now, I'm going to take you in the 9th chapter of Revelation. I'm going to show you how these angels going to come out of Euphrates River. Why the Euphrates River? Now, this is why I say what I say, people. How you going to teach me this book when you really don't know the whole book? Because if you start in the garden and end in the garden, you're not teaching me about the end of the garden. You're talking about the beginning of the garden. The Bible starts in the Garden of Eden, and the Bible's in the garden. Okay, so now, if we're not going from garden to garden, you're not giving me from beginning to end, you ain't giving me the whole book. Now, we're going to go in the 34th chapter of Jeremiah. Why? Because I'm going to take you in the 15th chapter of Genesis. Now, stay focused because it all go together. It sounds like it's all over the place because they put it all over the place. But all of it go together. It all starts with God. It going to end with God. It's starting in the garden. It going to end in the garden. Stay focused on them 4 rivers. But yet they don't teach us about them 4 rivers. But in the book of Revelation, 4 angels are going to come out of the Euphrates River. Why? We're going to learn today. Bible, baby. Bible, 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 Bible. In that 33rd chapter of Exodus, right? Here it is. They getting ready to take off and go through the go through the wilderness to the promised land. People, why? The promised land really wasn't that far. It really wasn't that far. It wasn't nothing but about an 11-day journey. It wasn't no 40 years. But because of their hard heads, their stiff neck, just like today. I don't have nothing against nobody's faith belief. Your faith belief is your faith belief. But when you run out there talking about that's Christianity teaching, I didn't learn it from no Christian. I learned it in jail. I learned it in jail. When you run out there talking about, oh man, that Bible college teaching. I didn't learn that in Bible college. I learned it in jail. When I come home in 2005, I sat back and I listened to all these preachers, and none of them taught. None of them, not one, taught what God is teaching right now today. So I didn't learn, not now man or woman can say, I taught like that. God is teaching his people. God is teaching his people. That's why none of them can run out there, because it's new to them. So now, this brother, right? This brother, you think I'm gonna let him get away? You think I'm gonna let that Israelite get away? You think I'm gonna let that Hebrew Israelite get away? No. You know why? Because we're gonna go all the way back in the 15th chapter of Genesis. You gotta understand what God made the covenant to what? Because the brother ran out there. Nobody don't keep no covenant, we keep the law. Well, if you keep the law, you're keeping the covenant, because the covenant come up under the law. What is you talking about? What you talking about? Okay, now watch this. They be jibby-jabbing about what the white man did. But when I show you in the Bible, Hebrews had Hebrews as slaves. That was part of the law. That after so many years, you got to let your Hebrew brother go. Isn't that part of the law? Isn't that part of the law? So if Hebrews was keeping Hebrews as slaves, go. Hello. So when you run out there with them teachers, have all of it. Have all of it. Come in Revelation. We're going to run this book backwards. Say, bro, that's why Pastor Mike say, bro, why I tell you. Say, bro, if I don't bother you, please don't bother me. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, as I said, I sat down with y'all teachers in 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. And the same thing they was teaching in 95, 96, 97, 98, they teaching right now today. Material have not changed. But God has changed the material and what he's teaching his people. But yet, the Bible says God is the same today, forever, and tomorrow. God never changes. But yet, God is preparing us for what to come, and we don't even have a clue. Watch this, people. Watch this. These people be talking about protecting the ozone layers and protecting this and that, right? Do y'all really know what they're really doing? When they be talking about protecting the environment and all that, do y'all really know what they're really doing? Really, ask yourself. It's all Bible. I'm going to show it to you. They already know. See the vegetation? God going to smash it. See the water supply? God going to smash it. See all the sea life? God going to smash it. See the shipments and the commerce, how they make all that money traveling through the water? God gonna smash it. And after God smashed the vegetation, the water supply, the sea life, and all the seamen commerce, then he gonna deal with man. This is why they always trying to protect. How you gonna protect what God gonna destroy? He gonna destroy it, babe. And it's all Bible. Y'all already know, after we come off them 7 churches, we hit them 7 seals. We never got into the 7 trumpet judgments. But see them first 4 trumpet judgments? Vegetation, boom. Water supply, boom. Sea life, boom. Commerce, boom. And after he deal with that, then he gonna deal with man. Now the Bible tells us about the 4 angels coming out of what? The Euphrates River. Hold up, God, why they coming out the Euphrates River? Go all the way back in the garden, Mike. Because if you go all the way in the back in the garden, where did man first be disobedient at? In the garden. Where did the first killing take place? By the Euphrates River. Oh, God. But they don't teach me that. They didn't teach me that. Bible, baby. So don't run out there talking about I learned this in Bible college. Did not. Don't run out there talking about I learned this in Christianity. No, this is for everybody. Everybody. Why? Because God loved the world. God is trying to get his people to a place like never before. But yet we running out there making all that noise. Don't get in your feelings. Let's get in the Bible. Bible, baby. Come on, God. Where we going, babe? Where we going? You open the book, God? You want me to open it tomorrow? How we going to do this thing, God? Bible. Backwards. Let's go. According to the 9th chapter of Revelation, as I say, a book y'all gonna learn. Watch this. I'm coming, Jeremiah. I'm coming. I might park in Corinthians. I don't know where I'm going. Come in Revelation. Well, let's start right here. Let's start at the last book. According to the 13th chapter in Revelation 22 and 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. Back to the tree of life. That was all the way in the garden. It's always about the garden, baby. Come in 9th chapter. I need you right quick. We need to break something down. I'm coming, Jeremiah. I know you want. I know what you want to do, Jeremiah. According to the 9th chapter of Revelation. Where we gonna start? Let's start right here. Let's start at the 12th chapter, right? Okay. According to Revelation 12 verse, Revelation 9 and 12 says, one woe is past, and behold, there come two more woes. There come two more woes after. Okay. Verse 13 says, and the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before God, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels. Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year to slay the third part of men. Say, bro, we done sat in these churches long enough faking. If that sky open up right now, a lot of us are not going nowhere. And if we don't go, that means we got to deal with these trumpet judgments. That first meteorite gonna come now and hit the vegetation, destroy it. You want me to read it? I'll read it. I'm gonna read it for them, God. Cause they ain't gonna read it. Can I read it, God? Well, let me read it. All right, come on. Let's read it. Let's read it. Let's read it. Let's read it. I love them trumpet judgments, just like I love the 7 churches and I love the 7 seals. Watch this. According to the Bible, and I'm gonna go all the way to the 8th chapter, verse 1. And when he had opened the 7th seal, the 7th seal, the 7th seal, the 7th seal. When you go in the 6th chapter of Revelation, you're going to deal with the 6 seals. The 7th seal don't come to the 8th chapter because in the 7th chapter, we deal with the 144,000. So now we made it to the 8th chapter. And in the 8th chapter, now we're dealing with the trumpet judgments after coming off the 7th seal. But the 7th seal opens up what? The first judgment of God. The 7 seals are what? Times of sorrow. Jesus said, but the end is not yet. Now we in tribulation. Watch this. And when he had opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of an hour and a half. And I saw 7 angels which stood before God, and them were given 7 trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, prayer of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. This is where your prayers go. This is where all the prayers go. This is where all the prayers go. Right here. This is where all the prayers are kept. Right here. So if anybody ever run out there with that jibby jab, boom, take them to Revelation, the 8th chapter, 3rd verse. And 3 and 4. And the smoke of the incense which came with prayer, with the prayers of the saints ascended up before out of God the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of altar and cast it into the earth. And there was voices, thundering and lightning and an earthquake. Thundering, lightning, and an earthquake. Verse 6. And the 7th angel which the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound, the first angel sound, and there followed hail and fire, mingled with blood, and there cast upon the earth. And there cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees will burn up. And all the green grass will burn up. Vegetation, boom, gone. That's the first trumpet judgment. So while we around here faking, if we don't make that, what? Rapture, we're going to get caught up in tribulation. Take my time, God, I'm going to take my time. Take my time. First trumpet judgment. Second trumpet judgment. Running around here not teaching y'all the real, what's to come. Watch this. Verse 8. And the second angel sounded, and it was given a great mountain, burning with fire, and was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood. Third part of the sea became blood. Water supply shot. Water supply shot. Water supply shot. So God, now you didn't hit the vegetation, now you're in the water supply? My revelation scary. Where? Where? Where's it scary? Just say you didn't know it. Verse 9, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. 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 And the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sound, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it was the lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of water. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Vegetation, gone. Water supply, gone. Everything in the sea, gone. So why you running around here faking? Sitting in these churches with all that old jibby jab? Why he running around here making all that noise about being an Israelite and a Yahweh and all that? See when this time hit? See when this time hit? Don't holler. Because according to God, you're going to reap what you sow. You're going to reap what you sow. Say, bro, all that faking, over. All that faking, over. God, read. Let's get to this 6th one. And 4 the angels were loose and were prepared for an hour and a day and a month, and a year to slay the third part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. Oh, Lord Jesus. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. After he hit the vegetation, after he hit the water, after he killed everything in the sea, after he hit the commerce, then he gonna come at man direct. For the Bible said the 4 angels were loosed out of the Euphrates River. Come here. The question that was asked. Come here. Come here. But the Bible said let there be light. And God said, and then they go to hollering. Ain't teaching you nothing. Ain't go to hollering. And you don't know nothing about what's really going on? According to the Bible. For it is said, and I'll start at verse 8. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden. Why not west, God? Why not north? Why not south? And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden. And there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord to grow every tree. Out of the ground, the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and for good and for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And the river went out of Eden to the water the garden. And the river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from hence it was parted and became into 4 heads. Let's walk Bible. Let's walk Bible. Let's walk Bible. 4 heads. 4 different rivers. North, south, east, west. Run it this way. Okay. God. Let me talk to God. Let me talk to you, God. God, you created a garden, right? Okay, this is the garden, right? Okay. Then you ran the river. Pishon, Gihon, Euphrates, right? You ran these rivers, right? Okay. If the garden is here, God, what's over there, God? If the garden is right here, what's over there? Okay. I know you kicked Adam and Eve out of the garden, right? Because of what they did, you just kicked them out the garden, right? Okay. Now watch this. Watch this, people. When God destroyed the world the first time with the water, what happened to the garden? What happened to the garden? Oh, I forgot. Y'all pastors say don't question God. Okay. My bad. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. Why we don't know nothing? But yet James said, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask. And that's what the Bible says. If any man lack wisdom, let him ask. Right, God? Okay, well, I'm asking. Can somebody please give me an answer? All right, but let's watch. Watch this. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden. And from hence it was parted and became into four. The name of the first is Pison. That is which compares the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. Where there is gold. Where there is gold. Gold. The gold was here, Mike. Gold was already there, babe. So these people know where the gold at according to the Bible. Yes. Watch that. That's your first river. And the gold of that land is good. There is Deldum and oxen stone. Hold up, God. So you mean to tell me the gold, the diamonds, and all that stuff was already here? Ben. So when I get to the book of Revelation, and then, you know, Pastor be talking about we're going to walk on streets of gold and this and that. Mike, gold been here. Gold been here. I got a friend of mine, right? He was a seaman merchant, right? He said, Mike, man, if you ever go over there to Iraq and all them places, they eat with gold spoons, gold forks. Everything is gold. So you mean, keep thinking it's a joke. Keep thinking it's a joke. While Pastor running around here hollering and pouring oil on y'all and pushing y'all down. When you wake up, you're going to wonder where everybody at but you. They're going to be gone while y'all running around here faking. Watch this. Verse 13. And the name of the second river is Gihon. And the same is that compares the whole land of Ethiopia. What? Hold up, God. Hold up. The first river, right? The first river. Run through that, right? Pison, right? Okay. So we got gold, we got oxen, we got, okay. Diamond, we got the whole 9 yards right there. First river. Then you run another river, right? Geisen. The same is that compares the whole land of Ethiopia. Verse 14. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is which go towards the east of Assyria. Why Assyria, God? Why Assyria? Well, what's on the north side of Assyria? What's on the south side of Assyria? What's on the west side of Assyria? Because every time I read about these children of Israel, they always wind up in Assyria and Babylon in place of captivity. So if the garden is here, God, Assyria over there, Ethiopia over there, the gold over there, can y'all please help me with this Bible? I have questions. Oh, but I forgot you can't ask your pastor now. No, my bad. Let me stay with the Bible then. Verse 15. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the garden, Eden, and dressed it, and it came, and he kept it. Assyria and the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Euphrates. Come here, Revelation. Come here, Revelation. Come here, Revelation. Revelation 13, 9 and 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice of the four horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels. Loose the four angels. Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river of Euphrates. So God, when did you bound these four angels? I see where you loosened them, but when did you bind them? Go all the way back to the beginning of the book. Go all the way back to the beginning of the book. We see that same river by the garden. You reap what you sow. See them four angels? Where did the first death take place? By the Euphrates River. Where the first disobedient man took place? By the Euphrates River. Where all that foolishness took place in the beginning of time? By the Euphrates River. So God grab them, boom, bound them right there in the Euphrates River. So It all started by the river, and then here come the river again. But how you going to tell me about this book? It started all the way in the beginning, and we still got to deal with, in the end, what started in the beginning, but you don't know what's going to happen in the end. Hell, you don't even know what's happening in the beginning. For real, bro. Bible college ain't going to teach you that, baby. Bible college ain't going to teach you that. Bible college ain't going to teach you that. But God is, and God is preparing his people for what's to come. God don't want his people going through that. So now God is telling the whole world, say, but get yourself together. Get yourself. I don't care what you call yourself. Get yourself together. Because if you don't get yourself together, come in Exodus. Come in Exodus. I tell you what the Bible says. I ain't around your faking. I ain't playing. I ain't playing. Watch this. According to the Bible, the 32nd chapter, and we're going to go to the 12th verse, and we're going to take off. Now we're going to take off. Watch this. Verse 1, 33 and 1. And the Lord said unto Moses, depart, go up hence, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, and the land which I swear unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, unto thy seed I will give it, and I will send an angel before thee. This is what God told Moses in verses 1 and 2. Get up, go lead the people, and I'm going to send an angel before thee. But watch this. When you get to the 12th verse. And Moses said unto the Lord, see, thou said unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Moses, why you worrying about somebody going with you? That's how you play y'all in the church today. That's how they play you in the church today. You worrying about somebody going with you. You need anybody to go with you. You know how I know? Watch this. Bring up this people, and thou let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight. Moses said, hold up, God, but you know me by name. You say you know me by name, and you say you found grace in my sight, God. But say, bro, you going to sit with me? Who going to go with me doing this? Who going to help me lead these people? Moses, sit your little fake self down. God got you. Watch this. Watch this. Verse 13. And now, therefore, I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now the way. God, show me the way. That's why I stand here alone. God, show me the way. I ain't waiting for nobody to show me nothing. Why? I read the book first. I got an understanding. Once I got an understanding, watch this. Watch this. Now, therefore, I pray thee, I have found grace in thy sight. Show me now thy way, that I may know thee. When I was in that jail, I didn't pick this book up so I could be a preacher. I didn't pick this book up so I can run around and pimp you and play you. No, I wanted to know God. I wanted to know who God is. So, in wanting to know God, he said, man, that's all I need everybody to do. Want to know who I am. He too busy picking the book up to preach it to you. That's why you ain't learning nothing. He too busy picking the book up to go against him. That's why you ain't learning nothing. But look what Moses said. What you said, Moses? Verse 13, 33 and 13. Now, therefore, I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, God, show me now, not later, not tomorrow, not your blessing coming next year, not your blessing gonna come Friday, not your blessing coming in 2 weeks. Moses said, show me now. Moses said, show me now. For when I go in the book of Psalms, I read where Moses said he made his ways known to Moses, but his acts to the children of Israel. The children of Israel knew the acts of God, but Moses knew the ways of God. But yet I read where Isaiah said his ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts, for they are much higher. But right here, what you say, Moses? If I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people. God said, all right. Verse 14. And he said, my presence, my presence, my presence, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. But yet we run around here faking, quoting John. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. God told Moses, say, bro, my presence gonna be with you. I'm gonna give you rest. Do your job, babe. Don't worry about who's gonna go with you. Don't worry about what nobody else is doing. Do your job. But if I take it in 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter, God say, I will walk in them. I will dwell in them, and they will be my people. Is not that what he said in 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter? So now when I go in the 14th chapter of Genesis, I see where God have made a covenant with Abraham. And say, bro, in that 14th chapter of Genesis, God said, you don't break my covenant. You don't break no covenant with God. So now when I go in the 34th chapter of what? Jeremiah, after coming off the 32nd chapter of Jeremiah, where God said, I made a new covenant. So now if God done made these covenants and God done put forth covenants, who are we to break them? But yet it's a consequence coming with breaking the covenant of God. But they don't teach you covenant. They teach you commandments. So now when somebody come at you with ordinance, you think that come out of school when it all come out the book. When somebody come at you with covenant, but the covenant started all the way in the beginning of time. Genesis 1:28, that was a covenant. But yet, we sitting up under these jokers, as Paul would say in the book of Galatians, under all this old elementary teaching. So God say, bro, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Say, bro, y'all done played with my sheep long enough. Get out the way. All right, I'm going to teach my own sheep. But my sheep so used to people, what? Preaching to them. Now God is teaching them, and now God tripping. How? How? Remind me of the children of Israel when God brought them out of Egypt. They wanted to go back. Come in Jeremiah. I'm coming Corinth. I'm coming Genesis. I'm coming. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me Jeremiah. According to Jeremiah, the 34th chapter, I'm coming 31st chapter. I'm going to stop at you too. I need you also, babe. I'll be back. According to Jeremiah 34, right? Watch this. Let's start right here at 12. Jeremiah 34:12 says, therefore the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah from the Lord. The word of the Lord came to Jeremiah from the Lord. Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, I made a covenant. I made a covenant. I made a covenant with your fathers in the days that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, saying, at the end of 7 years, at the end of 7 years, wait, God, slow this. We're gonna slow this thing all the way down, God. This for my Hebrew Israelite people, right? Okay, slow this thing all the way down. Okay, go. You made a covenant, right? With their forefathers when you brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the land of bondage, right? Okay, watch this. Verse 14. At the end of 7 years, let ye go every man his brother a Hebrew. Well done. Well done. At the end of 7 years, let ye go every man his brother a Hebrew, which has been sold unto thee. God, who you talking to? Who you talking to, God? You talking to Hebrews that was buying other Hebrews? But you running out there with that jibby jab. Or that don't go in the Bible. Or the Bible line. Say, bruh. At the end of 7 years, let go every man his brother, a Hebrew, which has been sold unto thee. And when you have served these 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. But your fathers hearken not unto me. But your fathers hearken not unto me. Neither incline their ear. So what you saying, God? Hold up, God. What's all this stuff? See, bro, y'all want to talk Bible or y'all want to keep running around here faking? Come here, Luke. Come here, Luke. I need to borrow you for 1 second, Luke. According to Luke, the 20th chapter, right? And I'm going to start right here in the 39th verse. There's certain of the scribes. Answer say, Master, thou hast well said. And after that, thou durst not ask him any questions at all. Verse 41. And he said unto them, How say they that Christ is David's son? How do you say that, God? How do you say that Christ is David's son? Verse 42. And David himself said in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou unto my right hand, till I make thy enemies thy footstool. But yet, I'm going to run in church and grab them little verses and just go with a bunch of jibby jab. Not having no understanding of what's going to happen in that 19th chapter of Revelation. Not having no understanding of what's going on in that 20th chapter of Revelation. But this come out of the way out of the book of Psalms. For David said this. And David said himself, sit in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thy enemies thy footstool. David therefore called him Lord. How is he then his son? How is he then his son? How is he then Jesus, David's son? Which takes me in the book of Matthew. When I go to Matthew, it walks down the genealogy. But Matthew is dealing when it comes down to the throne. But when you come through the genealogy of Luke, Luke is giving us the genealogy from Mary's perspective. And go all the way back to God. Come here, Luke. I'm going to show you where I'm going with it. All that old faking, bunch of noise. God teaching everybody, not just no one faith belief. Because as you see, say, bro, you really want to run this book? Oh, this is not the right book. Oh, King James was assistant and all that other stuff. The white man wrote the Bible. Okay, well, what book you coming from? See them Jehovah's Witnesses? They created their own Bible. I respect the game, babe. But when it's all said and done, and Jesus himself began to be about the 30 years of age, being, as was supposed, the son of Joseph. Suppose, according to what? Luke 3:23. Supposing to be the son of Joseph, which was the son of Mathat, which was the son of Levi, which was the son of Melchi, which was the son of Janna, which was the son of Joseph, which was the son of Matthias, which was the son of Amos, which was the son of Nahum, which was the son of Eli, which was the son of Naggai. Let's jump down. Which was the son of Amminadab, which was the son of Ram, which was the son of Hezron, which was the son of Perez, which was the son of Judah. Let's keep going. We ain't going to stop. We're going to jump to the bottom of it. Which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God. Luke walked that thing. Luke walked that thing. But when we read the Bible and we see those names, well, I ain't know how to pronounce the name. Don't worry about how to pronounce it. Just and keep moving. That's what I did when I first started reading the Bible, but I didn't let that stop me. Why? Because I wanted to know who God is. So Luke walked from Joseph, which supposedly had been the son of Jesus, all the way to the Son of God. And David and everybody else is mentioned in his genealogy according to Mary. Luke 2:1 says, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed, that all the world should be registered. He's getting ready to do a census. The whole world got to be counted. In order to be counted, you have to go back where you come from. That's why Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Why was Jesus born in Bethlehem? Because David was born in Bethlehem. Verse 2. And this taxing, this registration was first made by Cyrenius, was governor of Syria. Verse 3. And all went to be registered, everyone in his own city. In his own city. In his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David. What is the city of David? Back to Bethlehem. I'm coming, Michael, baby. Give me a second. Which is called Bethlehem, because he was the house of the lineage of David. But yet come Christmas, they're going to tell you about some wise men and all the stars and all this and all that old jibby jab, all that noise. Say, bro, what's really going on with David? What's really going on with Bethlehem? What's really going on with this dude, Jesus? That's what I won't know. You might not feel like that. Come here, Michael. Come here, Michael, baby. According to the minor prophet Micah, M-I-C-H, according to Micah, chapter 5, Micah said, now gather thyself in truce, O daughter of troops. He has laid siege against us. They shall smite the judge of Israel with a rod upon the cheek. What are you talking about, Micah? I'm talking about that dude that's going to be born in Bethlehem. That dude y'all call Jesus. Verse 2. But thou, Bethlehem, Ephrathah, thou be little among the 1,000 of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel. In Israel. But Jesus, when you was talking to the lady, right? When the lady brought her daughter, told you when she wanted you to hear her daughter, right, Jesus? What did you tell that lady? For you have come only to the what? The lost house of Israel. But then the lady was persistent about her daughter. But then the lady said even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall off the master's table. Didn't she tell you that, Jesus? You call this lady a dog. She was a dog. But yet, you healed her daughter, right, Jesus? It's all Bible, baby. It's all Bible. From Genesis to Revelation. From Revelation to Genesis. So when I ask you, what do you know about Jesus? Not all that old mumbo jumbo. What do you really know about Jesus? what do you really know about what happened in the beginning? And what do you really know about what's going to happen in the end? Well, we got to protect the ozone layers. And we got to protect the green life. I know. You better protect it. But you can't stop God, because he's going to destroy it. Come here, Revelation. Come here, Revelation. Come here, Revelation. Come here. According to Revelation, and we're going to go to the 16th chapter of Revelation. Watch this. I got you, God. I got you. Watch this. According to Revelation, let's start at verse 6. Revelation 16:6 says, "For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy." Verse 7. "And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments." Verse 8. Fourth bowl judgment, not the trumpet judgment. It's 21 judgments, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 bowls. 3 times 7 is 21 all day. Watch this. According to verse 8, "And the fourth angel poured out, his vial upon the sun, and the power was given unto him to scorch men with fire." Every year it gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, and man trying to figure it out. It never been this hot before. Oh, it's going to get too hot. According to the Bible, "And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire." Ooh. It's hot. Ain't hot as it's gonna get. Keep faking and playing. Ain't hot as it's gonna get. God gonna turn that sun loose. Verse 9. "And men were scorched with great heat. And blasphemed the name of God, which had power over these plagues. And they were repented not to give him glory." Man, it's just too hot. It's too hot. Say, bro, God trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something. Man, ain't never been this hot before. God is trying to tell you something. But yet the Bible said they didn't even want to repent. They didn't even want to give God the glory, because they had not been properly taught, and they wanted to believe what they wanted to believe and do what they wanted to do. Just like in this day and time. If I'm lying, come show me. Please. Please come show me. Pastor Mike don't want to be stupid. For Proverbs 12:1 said, "If any man don't like correction, he's stupid." Please come show me. I don't want to be stupid. "And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which had power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him glory." Bible, babe. Bible. So keep laying on the floor in church talking about, "Well, you don't know what I've been through." Okay. Watch what you're going to go through. Keep faking. Here, bring my Bible, give it to your pastor, give it to your bishop and your apostle. Take my Bible. It's anointed. Oh, Lord, in the name of Jesus, I anointed my Bible. Here, take it and read it. I bet you learn something. Say, bro, we better get it together, people. This is for everybody. I don't care if you're Baptist. I don't care if you're Catholic. I don't care if you're Pentecostal. I don't care if you're Yahweh. I don't care if you're Israelite. It's for everybody. This is for everybody. Because as you see, every last one of those teachers got flaws in them. Every last one of those teachers got flaws in them. Come here, Corinne. Come here, Corinne. We good, babe? According to Revelation, the 16th chapter, and I'm going to read it. Watch this. Verse 14 says, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth, and the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's the foolishness y'all caught up in. Verse 15, Jesus said, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watch, and he that keep his garment, lest he walk naked, and they shall see his shame. God, what's the garment? What is the garment? Your word? Your word? We wear your word? We wear your word, God? Well, turn your book, babe. Turn it. Turn it in your face. Yeah. We wear your word. Watch this. Watch this. According to John, and I'm going to do 3. John 3 and 6 says, John 3 and 6, it's not no chapter. John 3, the same one wrote Revelation, wrote John, which have borne witness of thy clarity before the church, whom art thou bring forward on thy journey after a godly sort thou shalt dwell. Verse 7, because that for his name's sake, oh my God. What we want, God? Your word. What we want? For your name's sake. Why? Go all the way back to what? Exodus the 32nd chapter. When what? Moses said what? I won't know thee. Wow. Hey, turn your book. Turn your book. I ain't finished. Watch this. Because that for his name's sake, they went forth taking nothing to the Gentiles, which therefore ought to receive such, that we might be fellow helpers to the truth. Bible, baby. Turn it in their face again, God. They ain't ready. Turn your book there, baby. Turn it. I'll wait. Well, I'll wait. Turn it. Turn it. What's up, fella?
All right, how you doing?
I'm good, babe. God be working me, man. I be telling God, say, bro, go ahead, man. You be working me too hard, bro. You be going all in on this stuff, bro.
Working you hard?
Bro, he be working me, brother. Stand up. I need you to go in Revelation the 9th chapter. After you come out of Revelation the 9th chapter, I need you to drop it on. After you come out of Revelation, I need you to tie it to Exodus. Tie Exodus into Genesis. You come out of Genesis, go all the way in the beginning. So now we look at the Euphrates River. Look at the Euphrates River. We got 4 angels coming out of the Euphrates River. Okay, why are these angels coming out of the Euphrates River? God said, Mike, that's where it all started, by the river. It always started by the river. But watch this. Right there by the Euphrates River was what? The promised land. So all they had to do was travel along the river to go from point A to point B. But yet they kept winding on the other side, which made them go through a 40-year journey. And every time they got jammed up, they wound up in Babylon. They wound up dealing with the Assyrians. Why? Because Babylon, Assyria is a place of captivity. Assyria was always the enemy. But it all started right there by the garden. But we jump past the garden because we really don't understand the garden. We jump past those rivers. But if we really understood those rivers in that garden, that's where it started at. So God said, okay, if it started right here, it's going to end right there. Why? Because you reap what you sow. Since y'all messed it up in the beginning, y'all going to mess it up in the end. So now, after God take all the godly people out the way, okay, well, deal with your people. You created them ungodly people. Why? Because I created Adam and Eve to create more godly people, but then y'all led there and deceived them. Now here come the ungodly people. So, okay, boom, God lock them up. Now at the end of the time, God gonna let them loose. So since y'all created all these ungodly people, y'all finish it. So God gonna use the Antichrist, which is these spirits, to deal with who? Those same people that follow them. But we don't teach the Bible like that. We ain't about to drop that on you. But the first thing, hold up, God, that don't make no sense. But it's all his word. It's all his word. So how you going to tell me about the book when you're not going through the whole entire book? It all goes together. So now when I get in the 9th chapter, because coming off the 9th chapter, okay, pay attention to what they're doing today. They're trying to protect everything that God going to destroy. They're trying to protect the green light. God going to destroy that. They're trying to protect the ozone. God going to destroy that. Everything man is trying to protect, God is going to destroy, according to the book. According to the book. So man must have some knowledge of the book. What the rapper say? He just died. Like whoa, like whoa, like whoa, like whoa. That come out the Bible. Like whoa. You get into that 8th chapter, that first stuff that happened with them first trumpet judgment. Ooh, like whoa. We get into that 5th one, like whoa. When he come again, because it's 3 different woes. And every woe gonna be like, whoa. Like, wow. God gonna wreck this place. But we don't know the book, so we can't teach the book. But I guarantee you, you get a lot of brothers and sisters who done been in jail. Oh, they own that. Because that's how we read and study. They don't read and study out here like that. Why? Because they not in bondage. So now we just teaching you from a worldly, free side of God. When you learn from a bondage perspective, say, bro, it's different. It's different. It's different because now God is teaching you. So now if you run out there, you Muslim, okay, you still serving God. You run out there, you Israelite, you still serving God. You run out there, you Yahweh, you still serving God. Why? Because Jacob had 12 children. So now, that's just like you and I, we brothers. My children not going to say you their daddy. They say I'm their daddy. But yet we come from this man. We both Rogers, we both Matthews, whatever. We both the same last name. But yet, that's my children. Those are your children. So however I was, that's how my children going to be. However you are, that's how your children going to be. But yet he had 12 different children. So how you going to say, I'm supposed to be just this way? Or I'm supposed to be this way? Okay. Your daddy was Dan. You Jehovah's Witness. Their daddy was Simeon. They Baptist. Their daddy was Benjamin. They Pentecostal. Their daddy was this and that. Okay. My daddy was Joseph. I'm Christian. So why we beefing? Why we beefing? We brothers. Why we beefing? But because our children don't know one another, our children really don't know, that's why they beefing. That's why we're so divided. Which takes me to the 7th seal. First thing the one came, that first seal, deception. If I divide them, they'll never know who they really are. If we really knew we was brothers, we wouldn't treat each other like we did. But now, we thinking we enemies. All the while, say, bro, we brothers. You know how many people find out later in life that certain people are their kinfolks? And the whole situation toward the people change? All Bible. It's all Bible. Because according to the Bible, which they don't tell me, the Hebrews kept the Hebrews as slaves. But yet we blame everything on the white man. We blame them, say, well, they hold up. Okay, well, let's deal with us. Let's deal with us. Let's deal with the family. Let's deal with Jeremiah. Let's deal with Isaiah. Let's deal with Ezekiel. Let's stay right here within what God called us. Okay, now how we fix this part? Because according to the law, which was under the covenant of dispensation, according to the 19th chapter of Exodus, after 7 years, you got to let them go. Right. Now, were they keeping that law? No. According to Jeremiah, that's what Jeremiah said. Y'all forefathers ain't keep the law. Hold up, wait, Jeremiah, you talking about hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So we've been doing some
shady stuff.
And we've been doing shady stuff to one another. Ain't that something?
Yeah. All them years. And still doing it because I want what I want. I want him to believe like me. I want him to do like me.
So now, all right, I want you to run out there. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, I know you don't know that book like that. You know verses. Okay, well, give me the next verse. Or give me the verse before that. Okay, because in order to go in that chapter, because when we read the Bible, we think it's 31, 32, 30. We think it's different chapter. But stay focused on what's said in that first verse. Because in that first verse, it's going to either say but, it's either going to say and, it's either going to say now. So but, and now, let me know it's a continuation when we come out the next verse. But now, when it was a scroll, wasn't no paragraphs.
Right.
Wasn't all that.
One run.
One run. It was just one run.
Yeah.
When you get in the book of Revelation, wasn't all them parentheses and all that. It was just one run. So this is why in the book of Revelation, he said, the hearer, the reader, we got to keep it. But now we done got sophisticated. Now we have paragraphs. Now we have periods. We have all these punctuations. Now we have chapters. Wasn't really like that in the Bible. It was just one run. So now I'm going to give you chapter 31. When chapter 32 is the continuation of chapter 31. But you done jump way in 32. Okay, well, what about 31? Better yet, what about 31, 32, 33, 34, 35? Because they all go together. Well, what about the whole book from Genesis all the way to Revelation? Because it all go together. Who broke it up? Because if you really study the Bible really not in chronological order. Because if you go into the newspaper of the Bible, which is Chronicle 1 and 2, you're going to wind up in Samuel, you're going to wind up in Kings, you're going to wind up in Judges. But if you really, really study the Bible, now, after the first 5 books, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, that's the first 5 books. Then we get into 12 books of history, which is Judges and Samuel and Israel and all. Those are books of history, right? Okay. Now, after we come out of the books of history, now we get into Job. But Job was here before Moses. So if Job was here before Moses, we got to go all the way back, boom, to the book of Genesis and find Job. If we go in the book of Genesis, now we got to deal with Jacob and Esau. But when you really do a deeper study, you're going to find out that that Job either came out of Jacob or Esau. So now, if Job was here before Moses, and then Job come after the 12 books of history, see how we just be running our mouth? That's why chapter 1, 2, and 3 is really about Job. After chapter 1, 2, and 3 of Job, now we get into what? Poetry. The rest of Job is poetry. But yet, Pastor gonna tell you, have faith like Job, have patience like Job. Hell no, I don't want to have patience like Job. I don't want to have faith like Job. Why? Because Job was arrogant. And when you continue the story, Job said, man, I'll never open to get my mouth again. That's how you want me to be? Job couldn't even open his mouth. Job had to repent. But because we don't study, because we really don't know the book, we just say anything. So now you running around here trying to have faith like Job, patience like Job. You not Job. You who God created you to be. But because somebody told you that, when all the while, God dealt with Job because Job was arrogant. But he was still upright. He still shunned evil, but he was arrogant. You know how many people that's standing up teaching people, even in the pulpit today, they may shun evil and they may be upright with God, but they arrogant. God took two whole chapters questioning Job. Okay, well, how the sun stand in the sky? How the clouds up there in the sky? Where the rain come from? How the snow is stored up? Job couldn't answer not one question. Job couldn't answer one question. 2 whole chapters, he did nothing but question Job. And Job couldn't answer not one question. See right here in Samuel?
Yeah.
See this 26th chapter of Samuel? David therefore sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deed. David knew that Saul was coming for him. Right?
Yeah.
But we take that one verse, touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm. Okay. But God took his anointing away from Saul. God took his propheticness from Saul. So why in the world would I stand in the pulpit and tell you that don't never put your mouth on a man of God? You do what you want. You grown. But that's how we done twisted you all. Now you believing that you can't say nothing to the man of God. You say what you want. Because that don't have nothing to do with that. That was between David and Saul. God regretted that he even made Saul the king. So why would I even tell you that foolishness? Because we really don't know the book. If the gold, diamonds, and stuff was already here, God gave man everything he needed. God gave man everything he needed. I'm talking about golds and diamonds, the whole 9 yards. Then he gave all the tree everything you need to eat. There you go. How you gonna mess that up? How you gonna mess that up? I gave you everything you needed. I have given you a whole world. All you gotta do is make more godly people to go in your world. So now when we get in the book of Revelation, the millennium, that's all the millennium is about. Jesus gonna do what Adam should have done. Now Jesus gonna show his little brother Adam, say, bro, this is how this was supposed to go. This is how you reign. This is why Isaiah said that the government should be up on his shoulder. This is why it is said that now his enemy is under his footstool, because now he's reigning. Because in chapter 20, 1, 2, and 3, he done bound Satan up and locked him up for 1,000 years. So now he's reigning. He's reigning. So now his enemy is under his footstool. Now, as the scriptures say, if you be faithful over a little, I'm going to make you a ruler over much. So all the people that was faithful in the word of God, now during the time of millennium, now they going to rule. Because they were faithful over little. Now Jesus about to make them a ruler over much. Now he's real. Now as Isaiah said, the Prince of Peace, the wonderful counselor, the mighty God, and the government going to be up on his shoulder. Why? Because now for 1,000 years, he going to run this thing. Now he going to reign. But he's going to show Adam, this is how you run the world. This is how you were supposed to run the world, Adam. But you messed up. So now, go all the way back in the garden, where the deception took place. He grabbed them 4 angels in the 9th chapter. Boom, we lock them up in the Euphrates River. Bound them. So now when we get into Revelation, at the end of what has happened to all the vegetation and all the sea and all that, now he's going to deal with man direct. Now it's time to punish man. I done did everything else. Now it's going to be personal. Now he's going to deal with man. But it's all Bible. It get deep. But it's really not deep. If this type of stuff was being preached to you on a daily, when you being taught it, you'll get it. Now, this is the beautiful part about it. A lot of people never heard it. So since they never heard it, it's easier for them to get it. Because they never heard it. But for the ones that been taught so much, now they're going to wrestle. Why? Because it's new. Hell, the wilderness was new. They ain't never been in no wilderness.
Y'all was had the food handed to them.
Everything was there. Everything was there. That's why the first little chance they got, they did what? They built them a god. The first chance they got, they built them a god. Because it was embedded in them to serve that god. To serve the podium, that's the god. So when we was in Egypt, they would always bow down and pray to the podium. So let's make us a podium out here. Because that's what brought us out of Egypt. Now we free. God like, look at these fools. What's wrong with these people? Same thing today. Same thing today. This is why when you go back in the 33rd chapter, Moses said, God, show me now. Show me your ways. Put me on the right track. Put me on the right track. Make sure I'm doing what you called me to do. And God said, my presence will be with you. Still today, God is letting us know that his presence is with us. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with. His angels still going before us, but his presence is always going to be with you. Which starts all the way in the garden. That's why God created man. so that he would always be in the presence of man. That's why every day God would go look for Adam and walk with Adam in the cool of the day. But yet Adam messed up. So now we go through all of this here. God said, okay, I done tried everything I'm going to try. So now I'm going to dwell in man. That's why he said that he will pour out his spirit upon, and Joel, that he will pour out his spirit upon all flesh. Because his thing since day one was to always dwell with man.
Always to walk with him in the cool of the day.
That's it. That's it.
Always.
That's it.
He just wanted to hang out.
That's it. That's it.
Hang out. Hang out.
He want to enjoy what he created.
Yeah, I want to talk to you for a little while.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. All that other stuff we doing, God done gave you everything you need. Everything you need, you got it.
And so everything, something hit me yesterday that everything that God made spiritual, man made physical.
Everything God made spiritual, man made physical.
Yeah, they look at it the physical way, you know. But they say, how can I put it?
That makes sense because when Moses was in the mountain, God hot.
Yeah.
Because God seen spiritually that they were fornicating with another God.
Right.
Spiritually.
Yeah.
They were serving another God.
Right.
Spiritually, if you really want, every day you could do sexually, that's what they did with that other God.
Right.
But God seen it. Moses didn't see it. So when Moses come out the mountain, now he see physically what God seen spiritually.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, when you do the genealogy, Matthew dealt with the physical side. Luke dealt with the spiritual side. Go back in the 9th chapter of Romans. When we talk about we Israelites and all that. Now, are we talking about the descendant sides of Abraham or the spiritual descendants of Abraham? Because no matter how you look at it, you have physical, you have spirit. You have worldly, you have spirit.
And the spirit part is the real part.
The spiritual part is the godly part.
Yeah.
It's the godly part.
That's the one gonna be around forever.
That's the one gonna be around forever. Like the man asked me a question. And God said, let us create man. For in that 27th verse, God created man in his own image. 2 and 7, God formed man from the dust of the earth. That's different from the man that God created out of his own image. Because the man that he formed from the dust of the earth was man, physical man. But the man that he created in 127 was of his own image, which is the spirit of man.
Right. So, and then what you call him begot a son after his own.
Which take us in 5 and 3.
Yeah.
And it shows how Adam had all these children that looked like him, talk like him, walk like him as a man, as a physical man.
Yeah.
But all of us was created in the image and the likeness of God. But that's what we push that to the side. If we ever just caught on to that one verse and realize how powerful we are spiritually speaking, because everything was done spiritually before it was done physically.
Right.
Everything. That's why when you get in the book of in the book of Revelation, John is writing what he's seen spiritually. Now, it's going to happen physically. Everything about our lives has already been played out in the eyesight of God spiritually from day one. This is why he was able to tell Jeremiah, I knew you before you was even conceived in your mother's womb. I knew you spiritually. Yeah. Now you're going to get to know yourself physically.
And then you're going to do what I need you to do in the spirit.
That's it.
It's a matter of time.
That's it.
I'm going to take you here, there, and put you here. And that's what I'm going to do. Whether you like it or not. But seems like to me, when a man don't have any, let's just say he's not religious, he haven't come up in the system, he can catch it better than a guy that's been in that system, you know, because he won't prove that he was right, even though he was wrong. He want to prove that he was right. The other guy say, all right, Lord, I don't know nothing. Just show me. Just show me, Lord, I don't know nothing. Take me to the book and show me. You could take that two ways. You know why?
For the Bible said that Nicodemus came to Jesus by night, right?
Right.
Jesus told Nicodemus, say, bro, you're a teacher. And you don't know this here?
Yeah.
So who works to change than a teacher?
Yeah.
Can't get it no better than that.
Yeah.
And Nicodemus was a teacher. And Jesus told him that, say, bro, you're a teacher. How you don't know this stuff? And that's the thing. Even now today, he gonna deal with teachers. All the people that been teaching a lot of bad stuff, they really, every single being want to know the truth, because we was created in the image and the likeness of God, which is the truth. So the truth is in you. Why? Because when God breathed it into Adam, he gave him a spirit. Truth. Truth. Why? Because God, everything about God is the truth. Even a person who is not saved, you know what they're going to say? Man, something told me to do that.
Yeah.
Something told me to do that.
Wasn't something God told you to do it, but you didn't listen. Now you where you at? Now you know something told me not to do that. You know?
And the thing is, what we fail to realize, God talks to God. Even that life that's in you that God had blew into man, now God could talk to that man. That man of God that's in you. But we done came with this religious stuff. You know what? In the church, we really don't teach the Bible. We teach denomination. That's why this denomination say women can preach. This denomination say women can't preach. What's the same? What's the difference? This denomination say we do it on every first Friday. This denomination say we do it every second Sunday of the month. Communion is communion. He says as many times as you do it. It don't matter.
Right.
But yet we teach more denominational stuff in the church than we really teach the Word of God. You pick up a Jehovah's Witness Bible, where God or Lord, it says Jehovah. Everything is Jehovah, 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 Jehovah. Okay. Now that I'm a Jehovah's Witness, now what? Now what you going to teach me? Are you teaching me about God? Or are you teaching me the ways of being a Jehovah's Witness? Are you teaching me about God? Or are you teaching me to be a Christian? Are you teaching me about God? Or are you teaching me to be an Israelite? What are you teaching me? Because if you really listen, they're teaching you to be like what they say you are. You're an Israelite, I'm going to teach you to be an Israelite. If you're a Christian, I'm going to teach you to be a Christian. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, I'm going to teach you to be a Jehovah's Witness. Well, who's going to teach me to be like God?
God. Because they ain't going to teach, they want to teach you what they are. In actuality, they don't even know who they are. So that's the same thing like he told Nicodemus. You're a teacher. You don't know?
I'm black, right?
Yeah.
Once you teach me I'm black, I got that. Now what else you can teach me?
The characteristics.
Oh, that's going to still come with being black.
Yeah.
Now what else you can teach me?
You ain't teaching nothing else. You're black. Now,
so once you teach me I'm a Christian, I'm saved, now what? Now what? Think about it. In the church, once you get saved, once they got you believing that you're a Christian, what else they teaching you? What else they teaching you? Because guess what? If the people outside didn't come into church with their problems, what we going to teach you? Jesus taught them to go be the light in darkness. Jesus taught them to go be the salt of the earth. Jesus taught them to go tell the people about God, not no denomination, not no faith belief, about God. About God. That's it. Well, here we come. Here come man. I'm going to teach you how to be Baptist. I'm going to teach you how to be Pentecostal. I'm going to teach you how to carry yourself being Kojic. I'm going to teach you how to be full gospel. No, teach me about God. I want to learn about God. Why? Because every last one of those things, some man started. Some man started.
Well, that was even when Jesus was speaking to the Jews or something. They'll say, I'm Abraham. We are Abraham's children. And he was trying to get them to see God. They talking about I'm Abraham.
Oh, yeah, we of Abraham.
I ain't no slave. I ain't never been no slave, and Jesus broke it down to him. You know?
Jesus said, you know what? Then again, I know who your father is.
Yeah.
And you're going to do just what your fathers do.
Yeah.
He was a lie in the beginning.
Yeah.
He's going to be lying in.
Yeah.
Just keep playing with that foolishness.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. That's what has messed us up. Instead of being believers in God, we have become believers in men. So now we following men and women. They got more people love the pastor more than they love God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How the hell is that?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Don't talk about them.
But I can talk about God.
Yeah.
But I can't talk about this Negro.
Yeah, you can't touch him. He better than God.
He better than God.
You push God off his throne. So get out the way. I got this. I'm rolling. And then when something happens, then they're looking like they're crazy. But God did never tell you to follow.
Watch this.
Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ.
That what he said?
Yeah, if I ain't following Christ, don't follow me.
Don't follow me. Don't follow me if I ain't follow Christ. But I used to listen to the old deacons say, right? And they said because of the bylaws of the people who started the church.
Yeah.
If you died and you wasn't paying your tithes and offerings,
You
can't come through the church.
Right.
Or if you wasn't a member, you can't come through the church.
Yeah.
Because this old man right here, he probably ain't like people. So y'all following him? He probably ain't like people. He probably was married with his sister, his mom, his brother, his cousin, because they didn't want to follow him. So since they didn't want to follow him, he said, y'all make sure none of them come through here since they don't want to be like me.
Yeah.
We don't know where this stuff come from. But we caught up in that. But now here it is, my son, my daughter done died, I'm in the church, I want to bring my child, if my child come through there, they got to pay.
Hey, you got to give me $1,000.
What the hell? Where we get all this stuff from? Where is the love of Christ?
Well, they don't understand the love of Christ. They don't have a clue what the love of Christ is. I think that's in Galatians when we talk about the love that you have, that he has given to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you love, you done fulfill all the commandments. If you love. But many people they don't know what love is. I can't do that, man. I can't do that. And I always explain to people, if you got family members that you love, but you don't really like. You know, right. You really don't like them. You love them because they're family, but their ways and stuff to do, you don't like that. Mm-hmm. But you love them as an individual, and if something happens to them, you're gonna be there for them. Mm-hmm. You know, but you don't hang out with them because you don't like the characteristics, how they carry themselves. Right. You know, so but you still love them. You know, I use the example is my wife can say something to me, and you try to say the same thing and see what happens. Mm-hmm. Now, we done got into it. Okay. But you try to say the same thing she said, see what happens. That ain't gonna happen. You can't say what she said, because she loved me. Okay. You know, so she said, and you said, well, you said it, that's all together different. Right. Because I love him and I know him. Right, you know? Right. But you can't do this here, you see, because you don't know, I love him. You don't love him, you just talking about it. You know, you don't even know if what I'm saying is true or not. So you want to jump on a bandwagon, but when you love him, you're going to stand in defense of him. And because God loves us, you don't have to worry about nobody else because God's going to stand in defense of you. See, I got you. Because if that wasn't the case, shoot, niggas would be out to get you. They'll come try to get you. But because God loves you, he protects you. And you don't do everything he wants you to do. God told Moses, I'm going to send my angel before you. He never took that back. God told Moses, my presence is going to be with you. God is no respecter of person. Right. So if he did it for Moses, do it for you. If he did it for you, he'll do it for me. When we really understand the presence of God, like he said, look what God said. This would get me. When we talking about we the church, all right, whatever. That what you say? Okay, cool. I ain't getting into that foolishness. Watch this. According to Corinthians, right? I'm listening. 2 Corinthians, 6th chapter. I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna go all the way to 11. Watch this.
O you Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you, our heart is enlarged. 2 Corinthians 6th chapter, verse 12. You are not straightening us, but you are straightening your own bowels. Now for recompense in the same I speak as unto my children, but you also enlarge. Verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Pastor gonna tell this woman to leave that man because he's an unbeliever, and he'll use that verse. But that wasn't talking about that, because if I go in the 7th chapter of 1 Corinthians, Paul said, if you believe in God and your wife is an unbeliever, you got him covered.
Yeah.
If she's a believer and he's not, she got him covered, right? We used this one verse and then broke up a lot of marriages. We used that one verse and ran off a lot of people we could have helped. But yet we call them unbelievers. He wasn't talking about that. The children of Israel were the children of Israel. When they came out of Egypt, not everybody was believing. Right. Not everybody was believing. But if they hung around long enough, they were going to be believers. He was talking about them Egyptians. He was talking about them Canaanites. He was talking about the Perizzites. He was talking about the Jebusites. All the people that he said that he would fight against them. Those are the people he was talking about because they were unbelievers. Not the Israelites. But we used that one verse and we done messed a lot of people up. Well, you shouldn't be with her, bro, because she's an unbeliever. How the hell? She not serving no other God. They were serving other gods.
They take it totally out of context.
And they messed a lot of people up.
And
watch this. But be not equally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? You know how many men don't go to church?
Oh yeah, a bunch of them.
Say, but we ain't about to go listen to that joke. We know you faking. But that don't mean I don't believe in God. I just don't want to go hear your lying preacher. That's your preacher, baby. You're going to listen to that foolishness. I ain't going to listen to that foolishness. Well, you're an unbeliever. No, I'm not an unbeliever. I believe in God. I'm just not going to listen to that foolishness. So now, because her friends, oh, girl, you're an unbeliever. How the hell that man an unbeliever? The average man have more faith than the woman. When real reality start to hit that woman, she fall apart. What the man gonna say? It's gonna be all right, baby. We good, baby. Don't panic, baby. Yeah. And he don't even go listen to that lying preacher. But he have faith in God. Watch this. Verse 15. And what accord has Christ with Belial? Or what part of he had that believe it with an infidel? 16. And what agreement has the temple of God with idols? They ain't worshiping no idol. He just don't want to go down there to that foolishness. For you are the temples of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them, and I will walk in them, and I will be their God. And they shall be my people. I'm going to walk, I'm going to dwell, I'm going to be in them. Ever since the beginning. That's all God wants. That's all God wants. And they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separated, says the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, says the Lord Almighty.
That's 2 Corinthians.
2 Corinthians, 6th chapter. Yeah. We are sons and daughters of God. But we're going to teach you that we the church. What that said in the Bible?
That's why he said, call me Alpha Father.
What that said in the Bible? We the church. No, we're not the church. He said, I will dwell in them. Why? Because I always wanted to be with man. But yet, he said we are sons and daughters of God.
Yeah, I was taught that, we the church. We the ecclesia, the call.
And they use that. They use that.
Yeah.
And now preacher can show me, using these verses, that we the church. He said, you the temple, and I'm going to dwell in the temple. He never said we was the church. He never said that. When we get to the end of the chapter, he said, come from among them, be separated, and I will be your father, and you're going to be my sons and daughters. Not the church, my sons and daughters.
And there's another place where he talks about you, my son and daughter. So you have always.
So when we go in Ephesians let us know how we've been cleansed by the word of God. No spots, no wrinkles. But it was through the word of God, through baptism. It's so much in that Bible, man, they have not even touched as far as teaching people the word of God. We preach Jesus walked on water, and then we hold Bible study about Jesus walking on water. We preach the woman with this your blood, then we teach it.
And we teach miracles, and miracles is not for the believer. Miracles for the unbeliever. But they always talking about you're gonna get a miracle, and the believer get excited. And I realize that's what brought the unbelievers in when God did a miracle. That's what brought them in. That's what made them believe.
Mm-hmm.
But they, for some reason, they oh man, I need a miracle. All you need to do is trust God, and it's gonna happen.
That's why if we're not careful in the book of Revelation, even the Antichrist is gonna perform miracles.
Oh yeah.
He gonna perform miracles. Get in the 16th chapter. They was caught up in all these spirits who was performing miracles. Go all the way back during the time of Moses, the magicians and the sorcerers. That was considered a miracle, the stuff they was doing. That's why it talks about Jannes and Jambres going to get Moses in the 2nd chapter of 2 Timothy. Because they was doing the same thing. They thinking they could do what Moses do. The Antichrist think he could do what God do. That's why you go all the way back. If you don't get that first dispensation, which is the dispensation of innocence, after the dispensation with the 7th dispensation of the grace, you're in trouble. Why? Because guess what? All the way in the beginning, God created man in his image, in his likeness. His own image and likeness, right?
Right.
Go in the 13th chapter of Revelation. Here come the Antichrist. Now he gonna create an image. And he wants the people to go with his image and also follow him. But if we was created in the image and the likeness of God and we follow God, anywhere in the world, we're going to get caught up with this Antichrist. But we so caught up in all this different religious stuff. The Antichrist don't care about that. Once you hit the book of Revelation, you're either godly or ungodly. Godly or ungodly. Millions of people are going to die when we hit that 9th chapter of Revelation. See, after he hit that water, he hit the land, the sea, and all that. See right there? Millions and millions of people are going to die at the hands of the 4 angels that's going to come out.
They're going to be like...
But stay focused. Why? Because millions of people are going to die according to the seal. According to that 4th seal and that 3rd and 4th seal, millions and millions of people are going to die. When he talks about, when Jesus talks about wars and rumors of wars and famine and pestilence, see that COVID? There ain't nothing but pestilence. There ain't nothing but a pestilence. The same thing with diphtheria, the same thing with flu, the same thing with AIDS, the same thing with all them other diseases that then came through here and then killed all those people. That's what Jesus was referring to when he talks about pestilence. Which takes us right there. Boom. 3rd, 4th seal. See how they talking that noise about the virus ain't going nowhere? And now they're gonna go back to the main date and this and that?
Yeah.
Say, bro, this time it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, they just was talking about, I just was reading, they're talking about the mask is coming back, everything.
Where did they go?
They ain't going nowhere. They just took them off, but they still had them. And you know what? I noticed, to show you the government ain't for you, all government buildings you got to wear a mask in. But everywhere else they tell you ain't got to wear one.
Jesus said, when you should hear of wars and rumors of wars and famine and pestilence, no, that the end is not yet. But these things going to happen. A lot of people going to die, man. And the sad part is, a lot of people going to die not knowing God. God have a set time where he going to end this thing. He have his set time when he going to end this thing. Whether man like it or not, whether man believe it or not. He have a set time when he going to end this thing. When he end it, ain't no I wish I would have, could have, should have. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. Nobody has ever did what's being done right here every day. No man ain't never did that. No man ain't never did that. And not no man could come and tell that one little man he lying. And he teaching the whole Bible from up and down. And he ain't just dealing, he ain't just talking to no pastor. He talking to all faith beliefs. Yeah. And now one could say he lying.
You call some scholars out. They ain't come.
Say, because that's God. I'm just trying to tell the people, say, bro, this is God. That ain't me. Ain't nowhere in the world I could do this. Ain't nowhere in the world. Show me one man ever did it. Show me one man that ever did it.
I don't know no man. I know Christ done it.
And he did it for a short space.
Dang, that's right. I mean, no man outside the Bible.
God will do whatever it takes to draw his people to him. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Somebody came on and think, well, even Jesus took rest. No, Jesus never rests. Jesus said, foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man never had nowhere to rest.
Nowhere to lay his head.
No. For Jesus said, man must work while it's day. Because when night comes, man won't be able to work. Man won't be able to work. So all that noise about you got to rest, this and that, say, bro, while you sitting there at rest, you might just go to rest.
Real rest.
Real rest.
Gonna be a big parade behind you, in front of you, whatever. What happened? Parade rest. Go on in.
What happened, man? He sat there in that chair and he just went to sleep. Ain't never woke up.
Never woke up again.
He said he was going to take a nap. He went to sleep and ain't never woke up. Man must work while it is day. Because night coming when man won't be able to work. And God done put this thing in overtime. Where now God's saying, come on, y'all, get yourself together. Come on, y'all, get yourself together. Time almost up. God break that book down unbelievably, man. Unbelievable. I be like, hold up, God, no, this would go with this, and no, don't worry about them, because look, this is what this about them. Because see that 31st chapter of Jeremiah? Oh, man. Oh, man. That new covenant, God said, I'm going to give them a new covenant.
Yeah.
A new covenant.
I like that. I'm going to put it on their heart.
Put it on their heart.
I'm gonna put it in you. Nobody can take it from you. The reason why I'm gonna put it in you because they're gonna take these books.
Which go all the way to the beginning. Say, bro, if I would have gave Adam wouldn't have fell short, but I knew Adam was gonna mess up, bro. Yeah. I knew Adam was gonna mess up. But I wanted to show Adam who he really is. Yeah. Just like right now today. God is in us. So it's on us to allow the God that's in us to be seen, to be heard, and to be shown.
And guess what? It's going to happen whether you want it or not. People can just see that you belong to God. They can just see it. They may not know exactly what's going on, but they say, man, it's something different about this.
John said, your spirit gonna bear witness with their spirit, because both spirits come from God.
Right.
That's why in the 4th chapter of John, he talk about spirit of error.
Yeah.
The spirit of error is the world. The spirit of error is not going to bear witness with your spirit of God. But your spirit of God will bear witness with the spirit of God, because the spirit of God hears the spirit of God. The spirit of the world hears the spirit of the world. So you have the world jibby jabbing. You having God coming with the truth. But the world don't want truth. The world want what it want. The world. This is why when we go back in the 16th chapter of Revelation, God going to turn the sun loose. And now the sun burning man up. instead of man repenting and saying, I'm sorry, God, whatever, he gonna
he gonna make it even worse.
But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day with the Lord is 1,000 years, 1,000 years as one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us, word not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things should be dissolved, what manner of person are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening to the coming day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire should be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent that you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless, and account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him, has written in all his letters, speaking of these things, which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned, unstable, wrestle, as they do the other scriptures, unto their own destruction. You therefore, beloved, seeing you know these things, beware lest you also, being led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness, but grow in grace and the wisdom and the knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. To him be the glory both now and forever and ever. Amen. 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 It's all good, fella.
Lord is good all the time, man. That's my dude.
I love iPad. I charge that thing, be going out on the people, be tripping.